This is not just a debt, this is a financial war that just exploded across continents. A Nigerian oil trader, millions of dollars missing, and now a UK court has stepped in with a global freeze. This story gets deeper, darker, and far more dangerous than it first appears. Welcome to NPM News. I'm James Morello. If you want powerful, emotional, and real stories that go beyond the headlines, hit subscribe right now and stay locked in. What started as a simple business deal has now turned into a $40 million nightmare. At the center of it all is Abdulrahman Musa Bashar and his company, Ultimate Oil and Gas. On the other side, a UAE-based trading company, Petrocor Energy. At first, everything looked normal. Contracts were signed, fuel was delivered, money was flowing. But then something changed. The deal involved multiple shipments of gas oil and Jet A1 fuel. Early contracts were completed, payments were made. It looked like a strong business relationship, until the cracks started to show. Interest payments were missed, charges began to pile up, and slowly, the trust between both sides started breaking apart. Then came November 2023. That's when Petrocor made a move that would change everything. They took the case to arbitration in Dubai, demanding their money back. But instead of fixing the problem, things got worse. More fuel was supplied under a new agreement. More promises were made. And again, payments didn't come through. Now the tension was building. By January 2024, both sides tried to calm the storm. A new payment plan was signed. A fresh start. But this wasn't just any agreement. To secure the deal, 9 checks were issued. And not just that. Bashar personally guaranteed the debt. That means this was no longer just about a company. This was personal. Everything was now on the line. For a moment, it looked like things might work. Some payments came in. Then suddenly silence. Another default. Another broken promise. And this time it hit harder. On March 20th, 2024, Petrocor issued a formal notice of breach. Ultimate denied everything. But then came the twist that shocked everyone. 7 checks were presented for payment. All of them bounced. The reason? Irregular signatures. That single moment turned a business dispute into something much bigger. A criminal complaint was filed. And in a dramatic turn, Bashar was convicted in absentia and sentenced to 1 year in prison. Even though that sentence was later revoked, the damage had already been done. Reputation, trust, everything was collapsing. But it still didn't end there. In April 2025, both sides made one last attempt to fix things. Another payment agreement, structured installments. More chances, more time, but again default. At this point, the numbers became impossible to ignore. Over $32 million tied to Bashar personally. Another $7.5 million linked to the company. Millions still unpaid. And then came the moment that changed everything. A conversation on March 15, 2026. According to court findings, Bashar allegedly made a statement that sent shockwaves through the case. He threatened to dispose of his assets if his terms were not accepted. That one statement changed the game, because now this was no longer just about unpaid debt. This was about the risk of money disappearing completely. The court stepped in, and what they did next was massive. A UK High Court issued a worldwide freezing order. Not local, not limited, worldwide. This means assets linked to Bashar and his company could now be frozen across multiple countries. Properties had already been sold, millions of dollars worth, both in the UK and the UAE. The court saw a pattern, missed payments, ignored orders, and now possible attempts to move assets out of reach. The judge made it clear there was enough evidence to believe assets could be dissipated, and that's why the freeze was necessary. This is no longer just a business dispute. This is a global financial crackdown, a story of trust broken, deals gone wrong, and millions hanging in the balance. What happens next could decide everything. Will the money be recovered? Will more assets be uncovered? Or is this just the beginning of an even bigger financial scandal? One thing is certain, this story is far from over, and when it moves again, it will hit even harder. Stay with NPM News.